I've invested in a large number of different speculative crypto mining projects, and in this video I'm going to share exactly how I made $2,077 mining crypto in February of 2023. This will include income earned from crypto mining, running crypto nodes, and any interest earned in DeFi. I've also included my monthly expenses so that you can get an accurate picture of my net income for the month. A few months ago, I included an ROI or return on investment analysis into one of the videos on this series. For those that aren't familiar, an ROI analysis looks at the current cost of a miner and compares it to the net income that it generates per month as a percentage of its total cost. This kind of analysis can often be used to determine what's a good buy and whether returns are reasonable. I thought it would be a good idea to refresh that data, so stay tuned because I'll be sharing that with you later in this video. Now, this is month 10 of this earnings review series. If you want to check out any of the prior month's videos, I'll link the playlist in the description below. And just to clarify, I'm not sharing this information with you today to try to brag about how much money I'm making each month or to try to promote a certain project for my own personal gain. I'm really trying to share my crypto mining journey with you, and hopefully you can gain something from any insights that I may be able to provide. But as always, remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. And with that out of the way, let's get started. Let's start off by looking at the high-level summary charts. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the total revenue for February came in at $2,077. Now that was down compared to December and January, and that's really caused by three factors that I can see. Number one, February is a short month when you compare to other months. It's 3 less days in January, so it's almost a 10% decrease in the number of days compared to prior months. The second factor is we did have two one-off income sources that occurred in December and January. In December, I had an airdrop for Demo that was several $100s. And then in January, I had a rebate that came in for my Exa miner. And the third factor that's contributing to the decrease in revenue is we are seeing mining difficulty increase across the board for a lot of miners. And that has resulted in me shutting off some of my miners because they've become unprofitable. If we look at our expenses for the month, our expenses are down compared to January, and that's also due to the decreased number of days as well as turning off several of my miners. So my net income for the month did decrease. We're down to $1,533. That's really a confluence of those three factors that's driving that decrease in the net income for the month. If you look here at the charts, you can see revenue is staying fairly consistent compared to the trend that we're seeing in late fall of 2022. And our expenses are staying consistent, and our net income is still staying relatively stable despite some of the headwinds we've been seeing this month. Next, let's look at this breakdown by individual project. Here's the summary by individual project sorted from most net profitable to least net profitable. You can see here our totals at the bottom agree to the summary charts that we just reviewed on the previous tab. So we go here to the top. Our number one project for the month was my pre-search nodes. I currently have 93 pre-search nodes, and they're generating a net income of $606 per month. I did spin up 8 new nodes this month, and I have a total of 234,000 pre-search staked on my nodes. Now, I did do a pre-search node tutorial video last week, so if you're interested in spinning up a pre-search node, I'll link that up above. Now, my number 2 most profitable project for the month is Element Data. This is a new project for me this month. A subscriber reached out to me on Discord a couple weeks ago and brought this project to my attention. I looked into it and decided to jump in. It's basically repurposing my Aware element for this new project. From what I've seen so far, it is extremely profitable so far. I did cash out some tokens today, and it generated about $35 for 1 day of earnings. So extremely lucrative at this point, but I don't know how long that's going to last. If you're interested in me doing a future video on this, I can put something together. I do think some of the tokenomics and the sustainability of this project is suspect, but I think we're still fairly new in this project, and a lot of times those who get in first, it can be most lucrative for projects. So if you're interested in me doing a video on Element Data, I can do that. Just let me know in the comment section below. Number 3 project is my Demo data miner, and this once again is still a really good earner. I have 2 Demo data miners generating a net income of $242 for the month, and I am actively selling a lot of my Demo data miner tokens. Number 4 project are my Flux nodes. I've covered this extensively in the past. There was a halving that occurred in early February, so that decreased the amount of tokens that I'm earning. That cut that in half for the month. Right now we're only generating a net income of $178. we did see a slight decrease in the price of Flux tokens for the month. Number 5 is my Coinbase staking of my Ethereum. I have 15 Ethereum that I'm staking on Coinbase, generating an APY of 4.15%. This is consistent with what we were seeing last month. Number 6 is a DeFi project, my Step-in NFT shoes. I'm actively selling these GST tokens that I'm earning each day for walking. But for the month, it generated about $56, and I convert those into Solana each day. Number 7 is my Deeper Connect Mini. This is a VPN. I currently have a credit score of 954, which gets me the max allowable earnings per day. So at the current price, we're looking at just under $50 per month. Our number 8 project is the HiFix GeoNet Station. I did order a new chip for this, and I believe it should be coming here shortly. That'll increase my earnings going forward, but right now it's generating just under $32 for the month. Number 9 is my iPolo G1 Minis. I have 3 of these. I've been solo mining for several months now, and I found it to be quite lucrative. I am actively selling my Grin tokens and exchanging them to Bitcoin every month or two. But for this month, it generated a net income of $28. We did have mining electrical expenses for my Polo G1 Minis, and that's at my home electric rate of 12 cents per kilowatt hour. So these iPolo G1 Minis are the most profitable actual mining device that I currently own. Number 10 are my Helium Bobcat 300 miners. I have 5 of these, several located here in Minnesota and several throughout Iowa. I did see a large decrease in the amount of HNT that I was earning this month versus January. Part of that has to do with the number of days in February, but we did see quite the drop off when compared to prior months. I haven't looked at this too closely in the last couple of months, but I'm wondering if there's other devices that have entered my hexes of several of my Helium miners. Number 11 are my 2 MatchX M2 Pros. These have empty fuel tanks, and I am getting a warning signal on my devices now that I have no GPS signal because they're in the basement of my house. So I think that may be impacting my earnings even worse now. So I looked and I'm only earning $6 for the month for both these, so $3 each. And the circle is almost filled up for these, so I assume these will be completely dead fairly soon. Number 12 are my Gold Shell KD Box Pros. I did turn this to Graveyard for the month. These did turn unprofitable early in February. The Bitmain KA3s did go online. They started going online in January and early February. It is increasing the network hash rate for Kadena quite dramatically and increasing the mining difficulty. So these miners actually turned quite unprofitable here in mid-February. So for the time being, I'm going to keep these unplugged. I don't really care to accumulate a lot of Kadena. I don't really believe in the long-term tokenomics of this project. Number 13 is my Matmetrics device. This is a pay-to-drive miner. I didn't drive a whole lot this month. I was sick for several weeks in February, so didn't do a lot of driving, so only earned $3 for this device for the month. Number 14 is my Exa miner, my 64 terabyte Exa miner that earns SCP. This is a data storage device. Right now I'm using 684 gigabytes of the 64 terabytes. That is up about 32 gigabytes versus January. Really only earning $2.25 per month at this point, but this is still on testnet, and we are using a very small percentage of the total capacity of this device. Number 15 is my Gold Shell Starcoin box. We did see an increased difficulty for the Starcoin for the month, so really only generating just over $1 in net income for the month. Number 16 is the Block Unlimited. Nothing really going on with this project, just earning just over $1 for the month. The next 3 projects are on testnet. We have the Helium Bobcat 500, which is a 5G device. Right now I've earned 1.38 million tokens, but no token release scheduled yet and no value for that token. Next is WeatherXM. I've got 3,000 tokens earned so far. They're expected to release the token in Q4 of 2023. And then PiFiWare is also on testnet. Token release is still to be determined. And they have 8,700 tokens earned so far. Number 20 is my S19 Pro 110 terahash Bitcoin miners. I have 6 of these. This is still offline. I was just in contact with Musk Miners this morning, and they're still having some trouble with their site. So I'm actually moving these miners to a different site, and they should be up and running sometime in mid-March, which is good to see. We scroll down here to the bottom, we have the different Gold Shell devices and my iPolo devices. All these I'm seeing increased difficulty across the board, and really not seeing much appreciation in prices month over month. It seems like a lot of new miners are coming online, increasing the difficulty, and these mini box miners are becoming unprofitable. I'm still seeing some profitability for my CK box miner, and that's really being driven by the increase in price that we're seeing month over month for the CKB token. So I'll be watching these gold shell miners closely, and I may have to turn them off if we continue to see unprofitability on those. Next, let's go over the ROI analysis I put together for each of my miners. Let's first review the assumptions that I'm making in this analysis. First assumption, the miner fair market value estimate is based on recent comparable sales on eBay. So what I did is I went on to eBay and plugged in each of my miners and saw how much each have been going for recently in terms of actual sales. These are not my actual purchase costs. A lot of these, almost all these miners, the value that they're going for now is less than I originally paid for my miner. Number two assumption is my current monthly income is my actual earnings results less my expenses. Yours may be different if you have different electric costs, or you have different hosting costs. Number three assumption, this is as of a point in time. Miner value and income amounts will vary over time. And then final assumption, this is not financial advice, and don't use this as justification to buy a miner or spin up a node. So what I did here is I sorted all my projects by most profitable in terms of ROI to least profitable. So we'll go through each of them and I'll give some brief commentary on each. I did put a ranking here on the left side for each of these projects. I signify green as kind of one of my top tier projects. Yellow is there's some risks involved, and then red is projects I would likely stay away from. So my number one project in terms of ROI at the moment is this new project called Element Data. Now, the current cost to get into this project is fluctuating pretty dramatically. To get the highest earnings amount, you do need to stake some Element Data tokens to provide liquidity, and currently that cost is about $900. When I got into it a couple weeks ago, it was $400. Plus, you have to have an Aware Element device, and I don't know how long these high earnings amounts are going to stay intact. So at this point, I think this is highly unsustainable. Number two highest ROI is my demo data miners. We're looking at a 30% monthly ROI or over 363% annual ROI. You currently get these on eBay for about $400, which I believe is about the price that Demo was charging for these. Number three project is the Deeper Connect Mini. The thing about this project, it does have a very high annual ROI, but you also have to stake a large number of Deeper tokens to earn the amounts that's earning per month, and the value of these Deeper tokens has been on a consistent downtrend for the past year. So this project really, even despite the high ROI, these tokens are not liquid, and you really cannot unstake them anytime, and we've seen significant selling pressure in this token over the past year. Number four are the Step-in NFT shoes. Once again, a very high annual ROI, but the fair market value on these NFT shoes has fallen dramatically over the past 6 months. Number five is the HiFix GeoNet Station. This one I'm rating as green. This one's been a consistent earner for me so far. You can pick up these for about the same price that you can purchase them directly from HiFix. And they're generating about $30 a month and a 7.1% monthly ROI. Number six are my pre-search nodes. I'm showing these as green. This is one of my largest node positions, and I've been a long time proponent of pre-search. Number seven is the Helium Bobcat 300 miners. The good thing about these is they are very easy to set up, and the purchase price has gone down dramatically on these, and they are kind of just a set it, forget it device. They're not nearly as lucrative as they were, a year and a half, 2 years ago. But really, if you're looking for a passive plug and play project, I would encourage you to just look at Helium and Bobcat 300s. I know there's a lot of people that are real salty on this project, thinking it was going to make them rich, but I think there's still potential for this project long term. Number 8 is my iPolo G1 Minis. This is more in line where I'd like to see a lot of other actual crypto miners. So I've got this as green, generating a 3% return for the month. Small amount, but really a small cost at this point of $300 per miner. I know I paid originally, I think, around $500 for each of my iPolo G1 Minis. Number 9 is the Mathmetrics SPT device. You can get these for about $100 on eBay now. They don't generate a lot, but you really don't have to do a lot either. The one downside with this is you do have to have the Mathmetrics app open while you're driving to get credit with Mathmetrics tokens, so that is kind of a hassle with it. Number 10, Block Unlimited. I would stay away from this. This is just basically an expensive nightlight. Number 11, the MatchX M2 Pros. As a lot of you know, I've been very critical of MatchX and their M2 Pros and their new Neo miner recently, so I would stay away from MatchX if you want to keep your money. Number 12, Coinbase staking for my Ethereum. I think that's relatively safe. 13, the Gold Shell Starcoin box. I don't think this is being sold directly by Gold Shell anymore, but I know you can pick it up on some secondary sites. It's not very profitable anymore, but this is really a speculative mining play that I'm participating in. I don't think Starcoin is listed on many exchanges at this point, so really my plan is to continue to accumulate this coin. Number 14 are my Flux nodes. They did go through the halving this month, so not as lucrative as it once was, but hopefully the price of the Flux token will appreciate to offset the decrease in profitability. Number 15 is the Exa miner. This one's still on testnet. You can get this for about $2,800, but that's without rebates. And you can also build your own device if you're so inclined. The next 3 are still on testnet, so no token value and no profitability at this point. My S19 Pros, like I mentioned earlier, those are offline, but those will be slightly profitable once those do go online. And then finally, we have all our different Gold Shell boxes and in my future bid Apollo boxes. And those are all unprofitable miners at this point. So you really need to be careful about purchasing a lot of these mini box miners at this point. Unless you have a very low electric rate, they are going to be unprofitable. And there's more powerful miners that are coming online, making the unprofitable of these miners even worse. For those of you who've been following along with this video series over the past several months, you may have noticed that I'm selling a lot of the coins that I'm mining and converting them to either Bitcoin or to cash. And that's because I'm quite bearish on the overall economy at this point. I think there's a lot of headwinds from increased interest rates, decreased liquidity, and a slowing economy. I don't think the lows are in for the stock market or for crypto at this point. Now, don't misconstrue this as me being mega bearish. I'm not selling everything. I still own all my Bitcoin. I still have a large position in different altcoins as long-term speculative bets. But I am trying to concentrate my holdings towards Bitcoin because I think that's one of the best long-term investments, and I think that'll take us first out of this bear market. And finally, as an FYI, my wife and I are expecting our second baby boy here in the month of March. We already have a 15-month-old baby boy, so obviously we're going to have our hands full. So you may see me posting a little less frequently over the next several months. But have no fear, I'm not going anywhere, and I hope you don't either. I do really appreciate all the support that you all provide to this channel, and especially those that consistently comment and watch my videos. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and check out one of my other videos over here.